Memory Aerobics Side 1. You've probably never heard of memory aerobics before, but it's more than likely that you've given your mind a mental workout without even realizing it. Your mind is just like your body in that it needs to be exercised. If you want a great body, you have to work to get it in shape. So if you want a good memory, you're going to have to work to get it in shape also. This course is designed to teach you some memory aerobics to help you keep your mind and memory in shape. Working out, whether it's physically or mentally, takes hard work and discipline. In order for these mental exercises to work, you're going to have to treat them just like a physical workout. Set aside a time each day and discipline yourself to use this time for your mental workout. The harder your workout is, the better your memory will be. And if you keep your memory fresh and strong by exercising it daily, your memory will stay young forever. You may be wondering just exactly what it is you'll be doing to keep your mind alert and healthy. Well, the exercises that will be discussed will give you practice using some important mnemonic tools. Practice will keep these tools fresh in your mind and ready to use whenever you need them. With all this in mind, you are probably excited to get started. Let's begin with the linking imagination exercise. Linking is a very useful mnemonic tool. It can help you remember lists, speeches, names, and much more. If you've been through the supermemory course, you know just how important linking tools are. And you probably understand that the ability to link things together quickly is an important asset. The linking imagination exercise will help you practice this technique so that the next time you need to use linking as a memory tool, you will be able to do so quickly and easily. Using 2 columns of words, practice making 2 word links. This is done by linking a word from one column to the adjacent word in the second column. Then move down to the next pair of words. Practice making 2 word links until you can form them quickly and easily. If you have the Memory Aerobics workbook, stop the tape and practice making these links, or listen as I give them to you. Stop the tape to make your link and start it again when you're ready for the next 2 words. Ready? Rice and boy. Cat and worm. Skillet and plant. Card and hat. Box and bird. Desk and sky. Rug and pen. Ice cream and wig. If you'd like to try this with more words, sit down and make 2 columns of words and try linking them together. Once you are able to make quick 2-word links, try linking all the words in column 1 together. After you have linked them all together, go over your links and write down each word. Then check them with the original list. Remember, this is only practice, so don't get discouraged. It will get easier as you practice making more links. If you want more practice, try linking all of the words in column 2. When you can easily link the words in each column together, try linking all the words from both columns together. You can either link the last word in column 1 to the first word in column 2, or you can start all over and link the first word in column 1 to the first word in column 2, then link that word to the second word in column 1. Go from one column to the next, linking all the words together. You'll be surprised how quickly you can memorize a list of 40 words. Another way you can exercise your mind and keep your mnemonic skills in good shape is by memorizing cards. You may not have any interest in playing cards, but by memorizing them you practice 3 fundamental mnemonic techniques: linking, the peg system, and the supermemory system. Although you may find you are more comfortable with one method than another, practice all 3 methods. They will give your memory the workout it needs. Let's begin with the random link system. This method involves associating a particular object with each card and then linking those objects together. If you have the Memory Aerobics workbook, you'll want to open it up and look at the charts listing each card and its object. Now let's begin the exercise. First, shuffle a deck of cards. Then go through the deck, linking the cards together one by one. Use the chart provided in the workbook to get the objects to make your links. Be sure and set the cards down in order so you can go back and check yourself. After you have formed your links, review them in your mind, moving from one object to the next. Then write down each object in order and use the chart to decode the objects. If you don't want to take the time to write them down, go through your mental images and pick each object out. Beginning with the first object, look at the chart to see which card it corresponds with, and then look at the first card you put down. Do they match? Go through each image, then decode it and turn over the next card. So how'd you do? You might need to repeat this exercise a few times until you can memorize a deck of cards with no mistakes. This exercise may seem impossible, but you'll be amazed at how quickly you can memorize an entire deck of cards. The second part of this exercise is much more difficult. Your memory will really begin to sweat with this workout, but it will also be in better shape because of it. To begin this exercise, you will need to memorize the chart listing each card and its representative object. You're going to have to use rote memorization to do this, and it will probably take a little extra time. Once you have all the cards and their corresponding objects memorized, try writing down each card and its object without looking at the chart. When you feel that you have the entire deck of cards memorized, try the first exercise again without referring to the chart to decode each card. After completing this exercise, your memory will probably be tired from such an intense workout, but you will feel great knowing that you're keeping your mind young and alert. Practicing the peg system is another way to exercise your memory. This system can also be used to memorize cards. Once again, you may not play cards very often, but by practicing these methods, you are exercising your mind and keeping it healthy. The Supermemory course went over the peg system in more detail. If you're unfamiliar with this method, you may want to go back and review it. Just to refresh your memory, remember that the peg system is a method where each number from 0 to 9 is represented by a consonant sound. 0 is represented by the letters S and Z, 1 by T, TH, and D. 2 is represented by N, 3 by the letter M, 4 by R, 5 by L, 6 is represented by either a J, soft G, SH, or CH. 7 is represented by K and hard G, 8 by F and V, and 9 is represented by P and B. Using the peg system to memorize cards is really quite easy. You simply form words that represent each card and then link the words together. The consonants we just went over represent the rank of the cards. The first letter of the suit is used to represent the specific suit. C stands for clubs, D for diamond, S for spades, and H for hearts. In order to form a word for each specific card, begin the word with the letter of the suit and end it with a consonant representing the rank. For example, the 2 of spades would be represented by the word sun. As I said earlier, this system is explained more thoroughly in the Memory Power course. Now that you are familiar with the peg system, use it to practice memorizing a deck of cards. Shuffle a deck of cards, and as you take one card from the deck, think of a word beginning with the suit and ending with the rank. Then lay the card down. Pick up the next card and do the same thing. Then link it to the previous word. After linking a few words, be sure to go back and review them all together. Once you have gone through the deck, go over your links and see if you can remember the order of the cards. If you're really interested in memorizing cards, the Card Power system would be the best method for you to learn to use. This system is the most effective method for memorizing a deck of cards in order. Before beginning this exercise, you need to make sure you are familiar with the Supermemory system. Once again, this system is presented more thoroughly in the Cards and Figures workbook and is listed as the Card Dynamic System. You may want to go back and spend some time reviewing it until you are very familiar with the system. We will quickly summarize the main points of the Card Dynamic System just to refresh your memory. This system is different from the peg system because it uses vowels instead of consonants to designate the card's rank. The Card Dynamic System also moves the letter designating the suit to the end of the word rather than the beginning. A word is formed by using the key vowel sound, representing the rank, and the suit letter. For example, the 4 of spades might be represented by horse, course, or chores. Turn the tape over to side 2 to continue. Memory Aerobics, Side 2. If you feel you know the supermemory system well enough, continue on with the exercise. You can begin this exercise using only a half a deck of cards and work your way up to a complete deck. Remember to keep the cards in order so you can check yourself. Begin memorizing the cards in order by thinking of a word to represent each card and then linking the words together. When you are finished memorizing the cards, go back over them and check yourself. This is very similar to the peg system we just went over, only this system seems to be a little easier and more effective. Now you have 3 techniques for memorizing cards and exercising your memory. Here's another exercise for memorizing cards, but this one is a little more fun and exciting. The name alone sounds intriguing: mutilation. Mutilating cards is a good way to exercise both your imagination and memory. You have already memorized a deck of cards using one of the 3-card memorizing systems. Now, as the card gets played, visualize the image that represents the card and destroy it. Blow it up, injure it, kill it, do anything to mutilate that image. Use your imagination to create a very visual and graphic image so that it will be easy to remember which cards have been played. Even if you don't play cards, mutilation is a good way to exercise your memory. Simply memorize the deck and pull 10 or 12 cards out. Remember to keep both piles of cards in order. Now go through the deck of cards, and when you come to a mutilated image, check the second pile of cards to see if it's been played. This is a fun way to exercise your memory. It's even a fun card game you can play by yourself. Solitaire isn't the only solo card game. Leave the cards now and turn to some name exercises. If you have a hard time remembering names, this is an important exercise that you should practice often. If you do not practice these memory techniques, you will have trouble memorizing names when you really need to. This course provides 3 exercises you can use to practice remembering names. As you have been introduced to different people, you probably noticed that some names are very easy to remember. It might be a really different name, and so you tend to concentrate on it when you're first introduced. Or you might think, he looks like a Dave. But other names are very difficult to remember. They are harder to visualize, and the techniques you have learned are of no use if you can't visualize the name. When you run into this problem, you need to think of a homophone to help you form a visual image. A homophone is a word that sounds like another word but has a different meaning. For example, you might use the word jury to form a mental image of the name Jerry. Sometimes this can be very difficult, and when you are on the spot, it can be even harder to think of one. The following exercise will help you practice using homophones so that next time you're introduced to someone, you will easily be able to visualize a homophone in your mind. After I give you a name, stop the tape and think of a homophone. Write the homophone down and practice linking the words in the homophone together. Repeat this process for each name you hear. Let's begin with the name Robert Smelly, Debbie Slight, Jeff Slane, John Reedhead, Denise Friedman, Chad Majerus. The last name is Key Mickelson. If you're interested in practicing more names, open a telephone book, point to a name, and think up a homophone for that name. You can do this with a magazine, index, directory, or any book that might contain names. Some names are much more difficult than others. Don't feel that you need to come up with a perfect homophone. Any word that will help you remember the name is good enough. If you're having a hard time thinking of a homophone, try saying the name out loud a few times until you find a word that will work. An easy way to come up with a homophone is to work your way through the alphabet. After a little practice, you'll be surprised at how quickly you can find homophones for even the most difficult names. Once you are comfortable with the homophone exercise, it is time to begin applying it to real people. Don't worry, you won't have to practice in real social gatherings. This course has provided an exercise you can do in the privacy of your own home to practice linking names with faces. You will need a phone book and a magazine or catalog for this exercise. Once you have these materials, open the phone book and point to a name. Next, open the magazine, close your eyes, and point to a face. Now that you have a name and a face, practice linking the name to the face. Picture an image in your mind of the name and then link that image to a prominent feature of the face. Try this exercise 10 times a day. As it becomes easier, try 20 or 30 names each day. After using this exercise to practice for a few days, you can rest assured that the next time you meet someone, you won't feel like a social failure. You'll be able to link the name to the face without even blinking an eye. Your friends, relatives, and coworkers will be amazed at your ability to remember names. Of course, the ultimate test of your name-remembering skills is actually meeting people. You may go for days or weeks without meeting a new person, but it is important that you practice your memory skills every day. There are several ways to do this. If you ride a bus or the subway to work, sit next to someone and introduce yourself. Listen carefully to their name and use it in your conversation. Then link the name to a prominent feature on the person's face. See if you can say goodbye to them when you get off using their name. You can try this same method in a line at the grocery store or at the bank. People may think you're strange, but more than likely they will give you their name and you will get your practice. You may have found that just trying to learn the memory power system can give your mind the workout it needs. This course provides you with some exercises you can use to practice the supermemory system while working your mind at the same time. Earlier we discussed the supermemory system, which uses a vowel sound to represent each number. Even if you know how this system works, you have to know which vowel represents the number in order to use the system. This exercise will help you learn the supermemory system and will give your memory a workout at the same time. Find the list of numbers and their corresponding vowels in either the Memory Aerobics workbook or the Cards and Figures workbook. Go over each number and pronounce it with its vowel sound. Repeat the list several times until you feel comfortable with the sounds and can remember which sounds represent which number. Once you have memorized the vowel sounds, use this next exercise to test your skills. As I say a word, write down the corresponding number. Ready? Ice cube, ruby, hot dog, sewer, ice cream, grapefruit, cuckoo, diamond, rainbow, hot plate, donut, food fight, spider, baby, toothbrush. Let's check your list to see how many you got right. The first number should be 52, then 23, 29, 24, 53, 82, 12, 51, 80, 98, 01, 25, 54, 83, and 21. If you want to practice with more words, you will find a long list in the workbook. When you can quickly identify the number that goes with each word, you will be using the supermemory system effectively. When you feel good about the system and are familiar with the different mnemonic techniques it uses, there are some easy exercises you can practice every day to keep the mnemonic techniques fresh in your mind. Try memorizing license plates. You can do this as you drive to work or walk down the street. Pick out a few license plates and memorize them during the day. At the end of the day, review the license plates to see if you can remember them. If you have properly used the mnemonic techniques, you will find each number stored in your mind, and you will find them easy to retrieve. Everybody needs to memorize telephone numbers. There are probably a few numbers you use quite frequently but have never taken the time to memorize. Now is a good time to do so. Practice memorizing each telephone number you use and put the memory tools you have learned to work. The exercises in this course will help you improve your memory and keep it in great shape. But your mind is just like your body. Exercising your mind needs to become a daily routine, just like exercising your body. Set aside a specific time each day to practice your memory skills. If you consistently use the mnemonic techniques you've learned and give your mind a mental workout, your memory will stay fresh and alert for a long time.